Greetings and welcome to another episode of SPCA Stories. Hope you are all doing well. If you are new to us, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. I'm Dawn Fenton, SPCA Monterey County Content and Education Manager. This episode was recorded at the lovely SPCA Benefit Shop in Carmel, California. And of course, my guest this time around is Christy Jacoby, SPCA Benefit Shop Manager. Christy oversees the day-to-day operations of our benefit shop located in Carmel, California. The benefit shop is an amazing secondhand boutique, and all proceeds go to help the animals at the SPCA. Our benefit shop will always provide something new for bargain hunters and treasure hunters alike. The inventory is constantly changing, so you never know what you might find. Our Christy is a warm, kind, down-to-earth person with a passion for helping the animals, and I just cannot wait for you to meet her. A quick aside, several times during our chat, Christy mentions that the shop is always looking for assistance and help. If you are interested in volunteering for our shop or any of our departments at the SPCA, you can find that information at spcamc.org. Now on to the interview. Introduce yourself to our listeners, please.
Hi there. My name is Christy Jacoby, and I'm the benefit shop manager for the SPCA.
Yeah. How long have you been with the SPCA?
10 years.
10 years.
10
That's
years.
right. You just got your jersey.
Yep. Just got my jersey.
So that's so exciting.
Yeah.
So before we get too nitty gritty, tell me about the benefit shop.
It is similar to most thrift stores, except ours is, of course, special. But similar to most thrift stores where it has clothing and shoes and jewelry and furniture and books and what else do we have? I guess all kinds of things. Yeah. Home decor. Yeah. Yeah. So lots of fun items. People come in for various reasons. Some come in all the time for tiny little knickknacks, everyday little things. And other people come in for that once-in-a-lifetime find that they are just thrilled with and walk out the door with their smile beaming from ear to ear. So, yeah, we have all sorts of items.
And all of the proceeds go to help the animals at the SPCA.
Correct.
Which is amazing.
What
makes
amazing.
Our benefit shop so special?
The donors. We live in an incredible area, and the donations that we get are definitely high quality. So definitely the donors are a huge part of what makes this place special. And again, we've got wonderful volunteers, staff. So we get a lot of donations that are really high quality, and we're just careful with what we try to be very careful with what we put out, and we're very discerning. We send a lot of things on that aren't high quality, that are stained or have seen better days.
Well, I know that we get a lot of really interesting stuff. So when I first started working at the SPCA, Beth, our boss, brought me here just to kind of show me what we had and what it was all about. And we just received this donation from a wonderful woman who had like trunks and trunks of vintage clothing. Like these, back in the day when you went to the beach, you didn't put on a bikini, you had a bathing costume. And on the mannequin, there was this it was at the top and the bottoms and then like a little skirt and the big hat. I mean, it was gorgeous stuff. So that, I think I'll never forget that, because that kind of reminds me that's the kind of stuff we get. It's
absolutely
unusual and exotic and interesting.
Yeah, and clothing is definitely our highest ticket item, in the sense that we get the most of it and we sell the most of it. So incoming donations are clothing, most of them. Most of them are outgoing that we sell is clothing. Of course, we get all sorts of other wonderful donations, home decor, furniture, that type of thing. It's just clothing is definitely what people come here for. And yeah, we get a tremendous amount of high-end clothing, and it's beautiful, really fun. The clothing is just, because of the area, it's very high quality. And we get everything from something you might wear to your prom, to the beach, to a fancy dinner, and just everyday clothes. We have it all.
And I bet people come in a lot because I'm sure every day there's something new.
Absolutely.
So
That's what I definitely keeps people coming back, is that we've got people in the back pricing all day long, and incoming items all day long. And so what comes in, it has to go back out. So we, the best we can, and we try as quickly as we can to turn things around. Some items take some research, like artwork and things like that, take more research than others. But even our clothing, we've got an incredible crew that prices clothing. Many people, but one in particular, her name is Candy Haber. She does a tremendous job with that. Armloads, literally, she'll grab armloads of clothes, and she's very, very careful with what she looks up, and she finds a kind of an average price and what feels right, and she'll slap that on, and out it goes. And so, along with obviously many other people are pricing clothing as well.
How many volunteers do you have typically?
35,
Wow.
somewhere in there, something like that.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, 38, I think, maybe. Yeah.
All different ways to help animals.
Yes. Yes.
We have a lot of volunteers, of course, at the shelter, at our facility, but of course, you need help too.
Oh, well, that's one of the biggest things that is probably one of the most difficult things, is that we do need more help. And it's more help that people that are really worker bees. We've got some volunteers that really, literally, we make jokes, they almost live here, almost like they're a paid employee 5 days a week, all day long. Not that they're here all that time, but oftentimes some of our volunteers are here 5 days a week. There's some specials going on. They're going to come in extra. They'll work longer days. They'll work both shifts. But we do have volunteers that come in and work like 3 days a week. And one volunteer is here. A couple volunteers actually are here all day long. Yeah, it's fantastic. We're lucky that way.
Such dedication.
Yep. Very lucky.
Dedication.
Some very, very special people.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, I want to switch gears. So let's talk about you, Christy.
Okay.
So how did you find us? 10 years. You've been here for 10 years.
Yeah. I was aware of the SPCA before really I was found, and I was found by Beth Brookhauser, our boss. Yeah. We actually rode horses together. And at one point, in one of our ride and talks, as we used to call it, we were talking, and she asked if I wanted to, be an employee at the benefit shop. Well, actually, initially it started out at the stables, so it wasn't the benefit shop.
Yeah,
It
I was
was
going to say,
at the stables.
We started out, and it's so interesting, Christy, because I know you said you've listened to a few of the podcast episodes.
Yeah.
How many of our staff started in one place, and some people go away for a little bit and come back, but others, start in one department and then they kind of move around until they find where they land. So I really think that that working at the SPCA, it's maybe a calling a little bit. There's like
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. Yeah. It feels so good to be working for our SPCA and what we do for the animals. So that calling is definitely there for me. Absolutely. Yeah. And so initially because of the horses, she said, Beth said, why don't you work at the stables? And that's how I got started with the SPCA, is working out the stables and it wasn't at the barn, because that's kind of the confusion of some of it, because we had the barn and the stables at the same time, but it was at the stables in Salinas.
Right.
Yeah.
That is a venture that we don't have the stables any longer.
No.
So you started out managing the stable.
Yep.
So then you moved over to the benefit shop.
Yeah, because we gave up the lease at the stables. And again, Beth was like, well, what do you think? Would you want to work at the benefit shop? And I honestly thought, that I would not work here very long. I thought, not necessarily for the SPCA, but for the benefit shop. I figured because I'd grown up with animals my whole life, and that was my life, that I would end up going back to the main office and working with the animals somewhere. Definitely a passion for kitties and horses. Although I think the wildlife department would be incredible to work there as well. But I really thought that I would end up at the main office working with the animals again. Now I'm not so sure. It makes a big difference that what we do here it is benefiting the animals. So I'm happy that our work here does go that direction, to benefit the animals without directly interacting with them. I think that makes it very special.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So before we get too much further, I like to give my interviewees a bit of a compliment as we do this interview. So I just want to say, Christy, that I don't get to work with you very often, or really at all. We kind of cross paths.
Yeah.
But you are so warm, and you're just such a bright spirit, and we are so lucky to have you. And you just seem you're open to everything, and you just make people happy. And I think that's amazing. And I know that kind of filters into the work that you do here. You're very organized, and our benefit shop is so well run and it's like a well-oiled machine. And that's you. This place is well loved. And that starts at the top, and that's you. So thank you for that. Thank you so much. I could tell you that the volunteers are all very happy, and everything looks so beautiful, and it's so well put together. And that comes from you. So thank you.
Well, thank you for the compliment. Yeah, absolutely. I hope it does come across that way. That is who I am. I'm very warm and friendly to people, and however, I definitely don't do it all at the shop myself. There's a tremendous amount of people behind me that are making the wheels turn back here. So I'm very lucky that way. But yeah, it's a fun place to work, and we've got a great crew right now. It's lovely. It's lovely to, everybody's here to work and here for our mission, and it's incredible. Literally, like last night, we had a quick little gathering here, and we had a pizza sitting on a table, and it damaged one of the tables a little bit, the heat on it, because it was a wooden table. And one of our volunteers, she was so upset, like it was her own table. Aww. And we fixed it. We messed with it a little bit last night, and we actually fixed it. But they treat it as it's their own. It's a very important place to them, and it shows in their work. They are dedicated and amazing. It's amazing crew. Yeah.
Well, that's so great.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
So great. Well, thank you for nurturing that environment.
Thank you. So. Yeah, I try.
And you succeed. You succeed. Where are you from?
Originally, I grew up in Sun Valley, Idaho, and I moved here in '88. To be a working student with B and Derek DeGrazia, who are local, well-known event riders. And they were running the Pebble Beach Equestrian Center at the time. So that place at that time, back in '88, was hopping. It was a destination place for sure for equestrians. We had Olympic riders through there, training sessions. It was definitely a really, really special place in its time. And so I came here to work for them as a working student, and that evolved into working for them for about 12 years and eventually becoming their head groom. During that time, I actually was bringing my own horse up through the eventing levels to the advanced level, and competed at the Kentucky 3-day event with my horse, Envision. So that was kind of my biggest event that I ever really did, and that was super exciting. And that was my world for a long time was horses and competing and eventing. So it was a very special time in my life. with the horses. And I didn't really ever think I would stray from that. But as you get older and your drive for competition and that diminishes a little bit, I, got into training horses rather than competing as much myself. And then I started working for another hunter jumper trainer. So again, still with the horses, but that was for another probably 15 years. Worked with a hunter jumper trainer, again, teaching and riding and training horses. And that was the person, Benson Carroll, who Beth and I rode with. And that's how she and I met.
So have horses always been in your life?
Yes.
Like from when you were a little one? Or?
Yes. We would, back in the day before no cell phones and all of that, we would be on our horses all day long. We would ride up and down the mountains. These poor horses. We'd ride up and down these mountains, and then we would take them swimming in the river. We'd ride through drive-through. We had a drive-through in town. You'd never do it now because the town is so busy. But we'd ride through the drive-throughs and get, like a little burger.
Oh my gosh.
We'd ride through like our little 7-Eleven and grab snacks on the horses. Oh yeah, we rode all over the place. Yeah, it was super fun. This was at this point, I had a little Appaloosa pony. And he was almost a horse as far as height-wise, but he was super special too. And we'd ride all over the place. So we had a wonderful time, about 3 of us, a little group of, about 4 of us. And we'd ride all over the place and have a wonderful time. So since I was a little kid, my pony, he'd be eating grass. I'd sit on in between on his head kind of, and he'd flip me up onto his back and away we'd go. Yeah, it was pretty fun. We'd ride double and backwards, and our ponies were very, very tolerant.
It sounds like it. So what were you like as a kid?
I was pretty darn shy, actually. But I slowly kind of have come out of my shell since then. I would say, again, very dedicated to the horses. So that was my world as a kid, is just riding and playing with the horses pretty much while other people were skiing, since I lived literally at the base of Bald Mountain Ski, the mountain there, walking distance in the summertime, maybe not in the wintertime in your ski boots, but in the summertime, literally walking distance from the mountain. And so most of the time in the wintertime, people were skiing and I was riding my horse.
Wow.
So that was very dedicated to that sport for a long, long time.
Yeah. Did you know what you wanted to be when you grew up?
I would say for the most part, it was an Olympic event rider. That was a big part of it. And also, the veterinarian idea here and there, that type of thing. I didn't shy away from the medical side of the horses. So that was a big part of my job, even as well as I got older, is just the medical side of taking care of these animals. I would say I always knew I wanted to work with animals. I didn't know in kind of what capacity, except for once I got older, and that direction towards the eventing goal was definitely prominent. And I had an incredibly special horse for a while there that probably could have gone to the Olympics, but I wasn't super, super fast, and I didn't take a whole lot of chances. I was pretty careful while I rode him, but with someone else that was an Olympic rider, probably I swear, could have gone to the Olympics. He was very special. Bit naughty, but pretty darn special. So I got lucky there, and he and I learned together through the levels, but super high quality horse for a while. I had him till he was about 30 years old. His name was Envision, was his show name.
I love that name.
Yeah, me too. He's a really cool horse.
Wow.
Yeah.
So would you say that he was, I don't want you to play favorites, but I'm going to ask you anyway. So was he a favorite of yours?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, my favorite horse of all time, for sure. I had a few, but he was definitely, he took me places. Yeah, he was super special. Yeah, I've had super special cats as well. Cats, and about 3 of them that like super friendly that would, uh, again, most people don't like cats because they aren't as friendly, so to speak, and they'll hide under the bed or this or that. But mine, all they wanted to do is be loved on and love on you and snuggle and sleep on the bed or under the covers or what have you. So I've had some super special animals through my lifetime.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I really think that, and you said it, that the horse took you places.
He did.
Physically, yes, obviously.
Yes, exactly.
But in other ways too.
Oh yeah, no, he changed. He was really how I became who I became as a rider. He really, just because of his quality and his attitude and everything, he was super special. So I could not have gone as far as I did on the other horses that I had. So absolutely my most special horse for sure.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It is amazing what animals do for us.
I know. Yeah, I've been very lucky. I've been surrounded by animals my whole life. Yeah, we've had, like I said, cats, dogs, hamsters, rabbits, horses, fish. I don't know, frogs, little frogs that go in the fish tank. Those were super fun. But yeah, all sorts of animals.
Is there a particular department that you would like to get to know better, that you would like to know more about?
I think all the departments, I think at the main office, I think would be great. But I think wildlife, just because it's so far from anything I've worked with, I think that would be interesting, to work there or to understand it a little bit better. To spend a couple of days and just audit and see what they do and how they do their jobs and what animals they come across. I think that would be super fascinating. I mean, of course, I love all the puppies and the kitties and all of that, and I've been around them my whole life, and that's kind of why I think I would pick the wildlife. Is just because I don't get to interact with some of them as often, and I know there's probably protocol. I know there is protocol to all of that, as far as how interactive we are with the wildlife, because we certainly don't want them to be attached with us when they have to again go back out into the wild. But that would be fascinating to me. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. The wildlife department is fascinating.
Yeah, I think most of us say that, but yeah, again, I just think that you hands-on, you're not, we're not involved in wildlife like that as much. And again, obviously there's precautions that we need to take, but they're holding little baby birds and feeding them and things like that, which would be just amazing.
Tell me about a frustrating day.
Oh, frustrating day. Technology. That can be frustrating.
Yes, it can.
I'm pretty darn good at it, but there are times where that can, it helps us in so many ways, but our system goes down here periodically and it's challenging. It's either stuck and it's spinning there for a while and, you've got a line of customers or something like that. Oh, yeah. People have got to get to their meeting they're going to and they're trying to check out. And their item that we're processing is just sitting there in the basket spinning. And you're like, oh, dear. So, yeah, that can be super frustrating. Sometimes we have to, oftentimes we have to just troubleshoot there, unplug this, unplug that, a little tap here, a little kick there, and we try to figure it out. Yeah, reboot, literally. So, yeah, that can be super frustrating. Our previous manager just before me installed our new point of sale system, which is incredible in many, many ways. So I'm really lucky that actually I came in after she started and the technology there helps us tremendously. But of course it has its days where it does not want to play. And so, yeah, sometimes it is down and super challenging. Some of the other things, just trying to we get short-staffed here and there. We definitely can use more help and more. We've got some, as you would say, rock star volunteers, and so lucky to have them all. I just want to clone them. I really do. If I could, that would be probably our biggest help, is just more of the same of those volunteers. So sometimes we just get short-staffed, and then thank goodness it's not an ER, like an emergency room, in the sense of, but it is, we work a little bit of triage. What needs the most of your attention? Is it the computer that just blew up, or is it the truckload of donations that just came in, or is it a volunteer that needs to talk, or it's just a little bit of triage. And I do thank my lucky stars that it's not a live animal, generally speaking, that we're that it's about. Although we've had a few come through here for various reasons. Some luckily are some of our volunteers animals, so we do get to have hands on a little bit here and there. Good. That's lovely. And we had one case where a unhoused person came by and couldn't support his animal anymore, and he actually, through our benefit shop, ended up surrendering it to the main office. Kind of a long story beyond that, but I'll just leave it there for now. But there's it felt really great to be involved in that part of it as well. He came through the front doors and he said, I don't know what to do. I can't take care of my animal anymore. And I called the main office, and sure enough, Jacob, I think it was Jacob, that came over and picked up the pup, and we did all the paperwork and all of that. So yeah, it's nice to be able to help animals out when they need it, and people. Absolutely. For that matter.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a great story.
Yeah, it was fun to see it full circle. We don't get that here as often. So it was really cool to see kind of everybody spring into action, and here comes our truck and, our crew, and picks up the pup and takes it to the main office and gives it, the attention it needed. So, yes. So that's great.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
What do you do for yourself? Like, I know you said long hours. So what do you do for self-care? What do you do what are your hobbies?
Lots and lots. Luckily, we live in such a beautiful area. So I would say I try to make the best of that. I hike a lot in Carmel Valley. And I also take advantage of our oceans, and I get to walk along the beach a lot as well. So beautiful, beautiful area, that we live in, just as far as outdoors. So I definitely like to hike and walk a lot in the outdoors. And just in the area, we're lucky that we have a lot of great venues that support live music. So I do love music, especially live music. And so I attend a lot of either, live performances with friends. And sometimes it's just more social, hanging out with them, social dancing, that type of thing. And other times I throw in a little West Coast swing out there too.
Okay, I was gonna.
So little dancing as well.
So yes, I remember you talking about dancing, and that's so much fun.
Yeah, lots of fun. Yeah. So the music drives it for sure. We've got a great area with fantastic musicians, and so lots of fun.
If you could change one thing about your job, what would it be?
I would say, I guess what I was talking about earlier, more help. I think that's a big part of it. I would definitely want to clone some of our volunteers and staff, and that would be super helpful. Like I said, we've got an amazing staff. And I guess I'll kind of get into that a little bit. I'm lucky enough to have been on staff while Nancy Olson has been kind of at the helm, so to speak. So when I first started as an assistant at the benefit shop, she was managing at that time, wanting to step down. And so at that point, the job was offered to me, I stepped aside because I did not feel I was ready for it at that point. That was in 2000, I think, 2020, I think. And anyway, so then we hired Jean Adam, and she was a force to be reckoned with. She and her sister are now volunteers here, but Jean was the manager for a while, and she was tremendous. She's the one, like I said, who put in the computer system and all of that. So she was the manager for a while, and then she needed to step aside to take care of her mom. And then the job was offered to me again. And then I stepped up into that. I was ready at that point, I felt, to step back up into the management. And so I started managing. But yeah, I think what we need the most help with is just more people, really. And but like I said, we're lucky enough to have the staff that we have. And I have just learned so much from our volunteers and staff, really. So yeah, I've been lucky that way. I've had a lot of guidance.
Is there a question that you wish I had asked you?
Not necessarily, but I guess I'll just maybe go into a little more of Nancy Olson is been a huge asset to our shop, and as far as guidance, she has been a tremendous force for me to lean on when I get in those difficult situations of needing some ideas or needing some guidance in different areas. We also have a volunteer. I'd say my right and left arm. Judy is one of our strongest volunteers, probably as well, and Judy Rigdon, and she's been a super great help for me to lean on as well. So yeah, we've just lucky to have the people that I work with, and all the volunteers are just, again, a super great crew. Everybody's really dedicated and knows our mission, and is kind of the driving force between what makes this place work. Yeah.
Do you have any regular customers?
Yes, absolutely. People that come in daily. Yes. Sometimes a couple times a day.
Wow.
To see what we put out late. They come in the morning and then they come back and they come to see what we put out in the afternoon.
So do you get chummy with these people?
Oh, yeah. No, quite a few of them, a lot of them by name. And yeah, it's fun. It's actually really fun. And in fact, when I first started, some of my horse friends were coming through here, and still a few of our regular customers are people that I don't necessarily initially know through the benefit shop. It's actually through the horses. Yeah, so that's kind of fun too. So we've got lots of regular customers, which lucky to have that for sure. And then get lots of referrals and things like that. People from the Bay Area say, oh, if you're down in Monterey, you should go to this thrift store and or the benefit shop. And so yeah, we get a lot of that as well. It's super fun.
That is interesting, because I know thrifting, and I'm air quoting right now,
right,
is kind of a thing right
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and our store has changed tremendously in the last, since I've been here. So I've been here at the benefit shop since 2019. And when I first started there, it was mostly older people that would come through our shop. And now there's a tremendous amount of younger generation. For sure, we get teenagers now that come through here and are shopping, and they're thrilled with, mostly they're shopping for clothes, but they shop for artwork and,
there's a lot of cool stuff here.
A lot of cool stuff, home decor. Yeah. So jewelry. Yeah. We have 2 events on that note. We have 2 events twice a year, one in the spring and one in the fall. And it's driven by the jewelry, but it's there are events that we put on that we hold special items back for. And they're great. Usually one is in May and one is in November.
So right around the holiday.
Yeah.
And then kind of Mother's Day-ish.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's
exactly.
the glitz and glamour, right?
Yes. Yeah, that's our holiday.
I live for the glitz and glamour.
Super fun. Super fun. That is really the kickoff for Christmas and the holiday season. And the store starts feeling super, gets me in the spirit to even decorate my own house right after we start kind of decorating. And those are super fun events. So yeah, May, it's usually the first weekend in May and the first weekend in November. Sometimes it's thrown off a little bit, but usually that's what it is. Yeah.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, super
I
fun.
know I always love the glitz and glamour events.
Oh, yeah.
I love jewelry. I love
Yeah.
jewelry and accessories. So
Yeah.
I've found some wonderful things. And it all benefits the animals. So
What more can you ask for, right?
yes, and there's something for everybody too.
Yeah.
I've gotten gifts from my mom. I got a little purse for her. So yeah, you can't beat it. You can't beat it. It's
Agreed.
really unique stuff, but you're also helping the animals. So, well, what more could you ask for?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, tell me something that nobody knows about you.
I guess I've kind of got a couple different sides to me. I've got kind of my dance crew, I've got my work crew, I've got my horse crew, and they don't all probably know either all three sides of me, I guess. So yeah, I guess maybe just that I have all that going on. I love to dance. I love music. I love horses. That's kind of a huge part of my life for sure. And now work, I love all my work crew, everybody here. And,
You're multifaceted.
yes. And I feel like actually the benefit shop has actually helped me with that. I've grown a lot since I've worked here. I know so much more about art and also, everything we carry here. I know much more about it than I ever did. So, which is super fun. Yeah. Super fun. It keeps the job interesting. There's never the same thing coming through the shop twice. It's always different, and it makes it a little challenging sometimes price-wise, how we're going to put items out, that type of thing, or what the heck is it even? Things come in, and that's kind of the funny part of it. Everyone's like, what is this? And oftentimes we'll direct that to Nancy because she usually knows all since she's been here so long, but sometimes she's stumped as well. And it's like, what is this? And in the end, we usually figure it out, but it stumps. Some items come in and they definitely stump us for a while.
Yeah. What's the most interesting thing that has come through, in your opinion?
Well, I guess interesting. It was more of a fun donation, I guess, that pops into my head. We had a donation that a local decor shop called and said they wanted to donate a bunch of Christmas items to us. And I said, well, they said it was new. It was from their shop and they wanted to donate to us. So I thought, well, that sounds fabulous. And so I said, of course. So Judy Rigdon and I went over there, and we walked in and I was actually overwhelmed at first. It was a whole room full of Christmas items, mostly. Some of it was just home decor, but it was Christmas items that we got our pick of. A room full, and I'm not kidding, like tables and tables and tables of home decor, or Christmas decor, really, most of it. And all brand new, all tags on, that type of thing. Incredible donation. And I guess I picked that just because it was really fun, overwhelming at first. And then we just got to go pick through it and pick what we could fit in the back of my truck and her car. And, we just stuffed it where we could and off we went. It was super fun.
People are generous.
Yeah, that was a really fun donation, really, to go through. And then we had to reprice it for our shop, but we put it out for Christmas, and there was I remember this pretty big white deer we had in our window, and that was one of the first things to go at the event because we saved it for the event, and because it was a super special one, and we tried to not break it in the meantime before we put it out. But yeah, we put it out, and it was one of the first items that sold. But yeah, that was a fun donation to get. Yeah,
amazing.
Yeah,
amazing. I want to thank you for your time and for all that you do for the animals. This has been really interesting, and I've learned a lot about you and about our shop. So thank you.
Thank you, Dawn. Yeah, that's been really fun. Appreciate it.
Thank you all for tuning in. We would love to hear from you. If you have questions or just want to say hello, you can drop me an email at dfenton@spcamc.org. You can find more information about all of our programs and services, including how to volunteer, at our website, spcamc.org. A tremendous thank you to all SPCA staff, volunteers, and board of directors. And a heartfelt thank you to our generous supporters. We at SPCA Monterey County could not do what we do for the animals and people in our community without you. If you would like to support us, and that would be amazing, you can find that information at spcamc.org. If you like what you hear, please drop a like or give us a rating on whatever platform you listen in on. Those ratings help us reach more animal lovers. I'm Dawn Fenton, signing off until next time. Much unconditional love to you and your pets from us here at SPCA Monterey County.